What's up, guys? Have you ever heard the saying, you don't gotta be faster than the bear, you just gotta be faster than the slowest camper? You see stuff like the gold rush, the bread lines of the 1920s, the gas rationing of the 70s, lifeboats on the Titanic. When people realize that crisis is afoot, there's a race to the exit. And that's what we're talking about today. A crumbling world order, what we can do about it, while people are racing for the exit. Now, first off, a lot of people don't even know what's up. And if you found this channel, I know that you're clued in and you've been thinking about this likely for a long time. But the society that we enjoy is built on the edifice of cheap energy. And mostly no one is doing like the net accounting, what it actually takes to produce stuff. But maybe there are people doing that. But the mainstream media, government, and like the social order is designed to confuse us so we can't locate the threat. Um, while the people in the know, I believe, while people in the know secure the assets that are required for life. Otherwise, like if people did know, everybody would run for the exit, and all the things that we need would be bought up, and there wouldn't be enough to go around. And I mean, we've seen it recently a lot. Um, like we think about the toilet paper gangs during COVID, uh, like ammunition runs, medication, um, inflation. We'll talk a little bit about that. I think there's more to it than just the government printing of dollars, though that's the technical definition, right? Well, let's talk about it now. Like cost push inflation. When people think something is going to be more expensive in the future, they buy it today. And we know from other videos that we've talked about is that like you have to own productive assets. We can't be holding paper dollars because every year that same dollar buys less and less. And truthfully, I think the government wants more inflation because then we can pay back, we as a country can pay back debts with much cheaper dollars. But we can't let everybody know that because then we have a little bit of chaos. So I think that like with elections, with the media, I think all of that, it's designed to keep us from focusing on the problem. Because if we were to focus on the problem, we would come back to that net energy accounting and realize that there wasn't enough energy to produce the life that we're accustomed to. And that's why we see push for like nuclear. That's why we see push for sol, excuse me, for solar. I'm not opposed to these things per se, but the chances of them getting off the ground in short enough time to ensure the status quo, I know that is not a real thing. But we have to own productive assets. Back to that. We can't be holding paper dollars. So we see the running for the exits. I think it's evident in the farm land grabs. We see people like Bill Gates and hedge funds buying up land. We just posted an article recently to the collective Facebook group. If you're on Facebook, join that so you can read articles on this topic. But I saw an interview recently with Michael Burry. He's like the Big Short guy that was famous for that movie with Steve Carell, and like for shorting the housing market, he made a bunch of money, and he's kind of got like guru status. But he was saying in this um, interview that he didn't want to disclose his holdings now that he's not a hedge fund manager. He's just managing his own personal. But he said a lot of that was taken up in land, particularly farming, and that he looked for value, like being a value investor in land. And it was very important that he buys at the right price, but also that like water was on site. And that leads us to thinking about water wars. We've seen like Nestle buying up reservoirs. We've seen fights, maybe not actual like physical fights, but definitely legal battles around the Colorado River Basin. Um, Definitely physical fights in like the Middle East and the Jordan River, where you have like Israel and Jordan and Syria and Palestine all sharing the same water resource, the Jordan River. And if you're paying attention, you should know that there's some stuff going on there. And then we have like I think just a couple years ago, right? South Africa, Johannesburg was specifically was having a really hard time, and they said that like there were like the city was like 3 days from having no water for anybody. So like the resources just aren't there for us to continue to like be irrigating our crops and stuff. This is why we spend so much time in permaculture talking about taking advantage of water through like swales and earthworks and like really smart irrigation systems. Um, but it's what's going on. I set the stage with that because if people knew all that, they'd be looking for be on the prepper spectrum too. And I think everybody before too long will be awake to the realization that like the resources aren't there, or the resources are there, but the energy that we've used for so long to get those resources to our plate or to our house makes things a whole lot more costly, and that will make people be investing in farmland anymore. So if you're looking to get out, you have to make the run to the exit sooner than later. This kind of goes back to the video we did the other day about how like people that say that they can't afford to prep are the ones that need to be prepping that much more. And we talked about like politics and media. They're not going to let us know because that just heightens the like yelling fire in a crowded theater. That just heightens the people's willingness to get out. And like again, we see it in ammo. We see it like in the prices of demand items. And if we're talking like late stage capitalism or a trading economy, if you don't have something that's valuable to trade with other people, it really does seem to me like we're truly headed back towards feudalism if we're not there already. But the takeaway from this video is I want you to be prepared because the safe places that we yearn for are created from our own work and our own diligence. It's up to you to create a plan. If you're watching this video, it's your responsibility for your family, your friends, and your community to be sounding the alarm and finding like-minded individuals that can team up, distribute the workload, and create abundance for yourself, your family, and your community. We're here to help you do that. So reach out. We teach homesteading and survival classes because we feel like on a long enough timeline, we're all going back to like that tribal and living with the land example that was perfected by Native American tribes and still is alive and well in like the bushcraft communities. But through thoughtful investing, we can make sure that ourselves, our families, and our communities are taken care of during that transition. So if you watched this far, I know you are passionate about life and serious about surviving whatever the universe throws at you. SustainableHomestead.com is the place to get more information. Shave decades off the time it would take you to learn this stuff on your own. We have a weekly homesteading mastermind course where we have project managers, ranchers, farmers, bushcrafters, makers, accountants, lawyers, every walk of life is there sharing their trials and tribulations to make sure that you can do it faster and cheaper. And it's a really wonderful resource that every Wednesday night, 6:30, you can't afford not to be on those calls. It's the cheapest way to get information and join the tribe that way. If you want the sheer download of information, visit us in person, see the homestead, take survival classes, get back in touch with nature, and really understand the rule of three. We've got three hours without water, 3 days without shelter, 30 days without food. That's what running towards the exits is. By the powers that be seem to be buying up water, seem to be buying up food, seem to be buying up land that allows food production as well as like housing production. So, as always, thanks for watching this video. Preparation today means peace of mind tomorrow, and we'll see you in the future. Thanks for watching.